This video is going to explain a range of different learning experiences at university, including lectures, seminars and tutorials. There will be several different modes of learning during which you will engage in different ways. The types of learning that you do will depend on your course and your level of study. On the screen you will see some common terminology used to describe these different types of study. Different universities may use slightly different vocabulary, so do make sure you check with your chosen university to make sure you're prepared for each type of session. The different types of learning sessions that you have may be scheduled on your timetable, or you may have to organise some of these yourself. It might be helpful to think about each mode of learning like a piece in a jigsaw or a cog in an engine. Rather than thinking of these as separate, disconnected sessions, we need to think of these as connected elements which create a whole. They each offer something different in terms of learning. The environments and behaviours in each of these sessions is different, allowing you to gain broad understanding of your topic, engage in detailed critical discussion, practice and develop skills, reflect on your progress and apply your skills in contexts that are relevant to your future career or studies. Let's move on to talking about some of these session types and what you can expect. Let's start by understanding lectures. Lectures are tutor-led. The tutor will stand at the front of the large room, usually with many students, or they will appear on the screen for distance lectures. They will talk for a set length of time about a topic. The idea is that lectures give an overview of a topic, discussing the lecturer's research and the key points you need to know for your studies. They will usually have visuals in the form of presentation slides to accompany their lecture. While the tutor is speaking, students will listen and watch, taking notes of the important points. This means you will need to pay close attention throughout the session. It is usually expected that students will be silent throughout the lecture unless asked by the tutor to contribute. If you have any questions during the lecture, you usually need to save these until the end, when the tutor will invite you to ask questions. Nowadays, many lectures are recorded so students can rewatch them later. This allows you to develop notes further or double-check anything you are still unsure about. However, you should not simply replace lecture attendance with a recording. The experience of attending a live lecture is an important one, as you may get opportunities to engage more with the lecturer and the lecture content. You will learn more about this later in this intensive. It is also important to note that, as these are designed as overviews or introductions to topics, they are not sufficient to give you a deep understanding of a subject. It is expected that you will research topics in further depth and that you will discuss topics in seminars. So how should you prepare for your lectures? Make sure you know where you should be for your lecture and how to get there. You need to check who is delivering the lecture and what the topic will be in advance. Make sure you know exactly when the lecture will begin and try to arrive a few minutes early to allow you to find a seat and prepare to take notes. Before the lecture, you should check on your virtual learning environment to see if there are handouts, notes or slides available before the lecture. Reading through these in advance will help you to prepare and take notes. Make sure you are fully equipped to take notes. Some prefer taking notes by hand, so will need to bring a notepad and pens. If you prefer to type, bring your laptop or a tablet, but remember to put electronic devices on silent to be respectful to the lecturer. Make sure to take notes in a way that works for you. We all work and think differently, so you need to find a way to record information in the best way for you. We will look at this a little more later. After the lecture, make sure you review your notes, checking for anything you don't understand so that you can go to the library or online to find out more about these topics. Finally, remember that lectures are required. You need to attend these important sessions to understand your topic and find out key information for your assignments and exams. Seminars are different from lectures. Whereas lectures are tutor-led, seminars are much more student-focused. Your tutor will be present and will help guide the conversation and answer questions, but the responsibility to contribute belongs to the students. These are small group discussions in which you will discuss lecture topics in closer detail. This means you will be assigned tasks or reading to do before the seminar so that you understand the topic and are ready to discuss your ideas. Discussing with other students and the tutor allows you to understand a variety of perspectives and develop more advanced critical thinking. For this reason, it is very important to speak up in seminars. It can be daunting at first, but remember that other students are experiencing the same nerves and you can support each other. In order to feel confident and get the most out of seminars, make sure you complete the required reading. You may be assigned a chapter of a book to read, or a journal article, or a number of short extracts. Alternatively, you may be given a question to think about or answer. Make sure you do these before the seminar. It is okay if there are parts of the text you don't understand, or questions you want to discuss further. That is what seminars are for, increasing the depth of your learning. Make sure you bring the appropriate text and activities to the seminar with you. You will also need note-taking equipment to write down interesting ideas or explanations which help to develop your thinking. You may want to write down a list of questions or comments before the seminar, so that you can remember what to discuss when you get there. That also helps you to focus on what you want to learn, an important part of independent learning at university. It is important that you contribute, but try not to dominate the conversation. Make sure everyone has an opportunity to share ideas. It's okay to politely challenge people's ideas if you disagree, and if you do not understand or agree with someone's idea, you might like to ask open questions to find out what the other student means, or what their thought processes were. These can be questions like, can you explain a little more about why you think that? Your ideas do not need to be perfect. Don't be afraid of making mistakes and asking for clarification. This is what seminars are for. Don't just try to impress everyone with grand ideas or having all the answers. It's much better to say something simple and direct, or to ask questions and find out more. Tutorials are one-to-one or very small group meetings between students and personal tutors. In these sessions, you will have the opportunity to ask your tutor specific questions about your progress and your individual work. This means that the sessions will be student-focused. You will decide what to talk about and the direction of the tutorial. This means it is a good idea to prepare in advance. Ask yourself, what do I want to get out of this tutorial? What are my targets for improvement? What do I want more support with? What does this tutor know about that can help me? You can also ask about current assignments you're working on, discuss feedback from previous assignments to help you improve, or discuss developing your academic skills more generally. Some courses will have a practical element. This could be in the form of practical sessions, workshops, or work placements. For example, science students will likely perform experiments in a laboratory. Photographers may spend some time in a studio or out and about taking photos. And physiotherapists might go on placements to learn on the job. The key aspect of these practical modes of learning is that they allow students to apply theory in contexts appropriate to their studies and future careers. They can develop these practical skills by performing them, and the result may be that they create physical projects as part of their assessment. If practical sessions are scheduled for you, it is very important that you attend them. Resources, spaces and opportunities can be limited by access and time, so make the most of each opportunity you are presented with. In addition to timetabled study sessions in university, you will be expected to organise your own independent study sessions. On average, for every timetabled hour with a tutor, you will need to spend 2 to 3 hours studying independently. This can be a shock for some students when they start university and see a very empty-looking timetable. But it is vital that you recognise all this blank space in your timetable is time that you can control and is a brilliant opportunity to develop good independent study habits. During these hours of self-study, you will need to set your own targets, create your own schedule, work on assignments and revise class learning, and research beyond what you learn in class. Even though this is called independent study, a lot of students choose to form small study groups to support each other or have a study buddy from their course. This can help you to stay motivated and on track with independent work. Let's do a quick and simple quiz to check that you have understood some key differences between modes of study. Match the 5 facts to the appropriate mode of study. Pause the video now and have a go. Then press play when you are ready to check the answers. Here are the answers. Did you get them all correct? If you got confused about any of these, go back and watch that section of the video again. Finally, let's discuss the reasons for having all of these different types of study. Lectures introduce you to topics, giving an overview of a subject as a starting point. Then, seminars help you to develop your own critical thinking about these topics and build your collaborative and communicative skills with others. Tutorials then provide you with the opportunity to benefit directly from the knowledge and advice from your tutor, and means you can reflect and focus on your own progress. Workshops are sessions that allow you to acquire and develop these specific skills with some tutor support. Placements allow you to apply these skills and your knowledge from lectures and seminars to real-world situations. Practicals allow development of these practical skills in a controlled and supported space with a tutor. And finally, independent study allows you to make links and connections between all the other modes of learning, finding gaps to fill with your own research, and recognising the value of your learning beyond the classroom. All of these types of learning are interlinked, allowing you to become an independent and critical thinker throughout university and beyond.